Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Magic Arena Run. Last episode we took a look at some of the decks of the Flash Forward Festival. In fact, we took a look at about half of them. And there's only a few more hours left in the event. We already got our cosmetics for this, but there's still 5 more decks to check out, and let's take a good look at them. So we'll just do a quick bit here. So the last decks we were able to look at were the Simic Massive Menagerie deck. So Ramp is still kind of viable last I checked. We took a look at Company of Knights. So far what Boros aggro is kind of good, which actually is a good way to start off if we're not so sure on how viable Mono Red will still be. Here's looking to use Zendikar Rising. He also took a look at the back for more deck. I did not win this one, but it seems to be the popular one. Every other matchup was pretty much against this deck. And this one does have some legs. There are plenty of cards that churn out the graveyard. Not as efficiently as previous, but still there. Then there's the Dimir Mutation Station. There could be some balancing issues aside. I did bemoan some of the rares that they put in, despite the fact that those were the ones that won me the game. Don't let your individual experience color your entire evaluation. But we do have enough cards with flash that are not rotating, especially from Teros Beyond Death and Throne of Eldraine. So even Ikoria also. So there are plenty of flash options. A full flash deck is still very possible here. So we're gonna see how that goes. And finally, I tried out the Stomp deck. This particular iteration could use either more removal or more resilient creatures. I don't think you'd be able to do an even split of green and red anymore. We're losing out a lot of the good cards there. We're losing Domri's Ambush, we're losing Gruul Spellbreaker. But it could still work out as mostly mono green with a little red splash, or it could just go straight mono green at that point. That one's been doing quite well. The most we're going to lose from mono green is actually just the Pelt Collector, if I'm not mistaken. Like Barkhide Troll is like the Troll is from Eldraine, Yorvo's from Eldraine. Same as my phone number. Okay. So that leaves us 5 more decks to try out here. So we're gonna do a very quick look at that one. So let us start with. We'll start with this one. Let's go on an adventure. Adventure is actually probably reasonable in the sense that they did push the +1/+1 counters deck for M21. So we'll give that one a try. It does have It does have ways of producing quite a bit of creatures. Oh wait, hold on. Can I still cancel? Nope. We're going in blind. Always try to remember to take a look at your own deck at the very least. Never mind about looking at all the decks. At least look at the deck that you're gonna play. So that said, each creature you control that has an adventure enters the battlefield with +1/+1. So you actually want to play this first, but we're definitely keeping this. I'll go turn 1 Innkeeper, which might be bad, but then again, most of the decks don't exactly have turn 1 removal, so we could actually just opt to cast Silverflame Squire as is. Yeah, we can just cast Silverflame Squire to draw a card, and I already played that, so this is a bit of greed mode. But then we got the Vanishing Light, so we'll accept that. Next turn, we'll probably play Mysterious Pathlighter. Oh, okay, opponent drops the Almighty Brushwag, and I'll offer the trade. Actually, this is interesting. I could play the Blossoming Sands now. I could play Mysterious Pathlighter now, knock on wood for a green source. This one's a bit shifty. I can also just play this. Play the Pathlighter now. Offer the trade because our opponent is reliant on because we already got our at least one card off this, and if I remember this deck correctly, it wants to work around them trample a bit. Okay, so we now have options here. There's also Wondermare. Whenever you cast a we're actually getting plenty of options here, so we'll play this first. Gain the life. We'll swing with the board. We'll see if we're willing to take the 4 damage back because we're already dealing 4. Then next turn we can decide to either Banishing Light here, Heart's Desire, or Heart's Desire Lovestruck Beast. Either way, we get the benefit of the Pathlighter and the Wandermare. Opponent might try to move. Nope. Elysian Caryatid is going big. Then again, our opponent's creatures are big, but not that big if I remember correctly. You also have the option to cast Silver Flame Squire on alert, then just cast the Squire itself. Let's give our opponent that option. Yeah, because the 5/5 will survive the 4/2. Opponent might still have a Stomp, but we're kind of okay with that. Because even if... Oh, he does have the Ram True. Oh, he's ramming through that one? Oh, wait. No, he dealt 2 damage to 2 different sources. Okay, so he lost that one. Well... I forgot this dealt damage to any target, so all of a sudden this is not looking good. Probably should Banishing Light this one. Now our opponent has 6 mana, 7 potentially. Yeah, we got blown out by that one Ram True. We misplayed that one. What is the alternate option? We could have just let the trade happen. Our opponent would cast the Ram True anyway. Actually, if we let the trade happen, that would have been fine. We would have been able to cast this. Opponent going for big mana. Okay, we now have multiple options. I could just cast this first, make our opponent try to machine gun us. I can cast the Lovestruck Beast. I could also just take out the Dreamstalker Manticore. Many options here. I'm probably just gonna cast the Lovestruck Beast right now because... Let's say our opponent casts something, tries to take out the... Okay, he's not gonna be able to take this out. In fact, but he is able to drop multiple Rampart Smashers. We might have a problem here. So far, our only winning place to go up top. The Lovestruck Beast can block, so that's fine. So... Let's see. Equal to target... Equal to its power. So 2, 4, 6. It's missing some mana. I'm gonna nuke the Manticore. Avenger's probably still the correct play. We're gonna hold on to blocks. Our opponent might have another Ram True at least won't take out the Lovestruck. Okay, now this is a problem. He can start pumping these. So we're gonna be rushing with Pathlighter. And then going for another Hornbash Mentor. That's... Wow, this is a problem now. We know these are gonna grow to 7/7s next turn. In fact, he's swinging now. He can't... Wait, he can't grow them quite yet. He's telegraphing that he has some sort of burn spell based on this because he can't tap with this. But I can't just take 10. Let's force him to use it. I don't like it. Here comes the Stomp. Or Unleash Fury, double power. So we took a huge bit of damage. And this is a giant, so we can't actually wipe it. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 6 mana, so... Yeah, so this is actually a bad matchup for us just because of the just because of the Ramparts Manor. So now we have one turn to draw one more mana. The good news is we kind of wiped our opponent's board. Bad news is if our opponent has to Unleash Fury, it's all over. And I know this deck has 2 more copies of that. He didn't have it quite yet. First Hero 1 games is a problem. Okay, we got Victor's Envoy. Yeah, that's a good game. So we kind of whiffed on that one because of the random. It's not random. It's actually good to have It's good to have a rider on spells like that. If it was just destroy all creatures, we'd be seeing a lot more of that. So we didn't exactly go on a great adventure there, but we didn't exactly lose then. We probably lost earlier when we got blown out by that trick. I think the correct play then would have been to just banishing like the Dreamstalker Manticore altogether. So, well, so much for the adventure. Let's try another deck. Our opponent was playing the Stomp deck. They did much better in that one. Let's go along the same vein. Yeah, let's go this way. So we'll do the Starry Eye deck next. Let's see how well that one does. So this one is... Oh yeah, you know what? While we're at it, let's actually take a look at those decks. We didn't give it its due diligence. I was actually pleasantly surprised to see the Realm Cloak Giant, but what else did we have here? Yeah, we got 2 rares that... I'm not happy with, but this might make... At least Ironscale Hydra might make more sense in a Mutate deck, which is plausible. Green-White Mutate is a thing. Okay, there are 2 Lucky Clovers. A bunch of Garen Briggs Squares would be okay. Shepherd of the Flock would have been a good pickup. As it is, this is not replacing Teamer Adventure anytime soon. The mana base might make it harder. Might be harder, but they do have the right Triome. But this is one way to go around it. So let's take a look at the Starry Eye deck now that we're here. So, yeah, it's 1 Elspeth Conquers Death, 1 Kiora Bless the Sea God, Banished into Fable. Okay, we do have Arcanist out to shooter stuff. We have a Luminous Broodmoth, which is interesting, and an Archon of Sun's Grace. So it's pretty much... Okay, the bad thing about this one is that our literal early game is just Eidolon Philosophy and Stinging Lionfish. Okay, there's a Bird of Meletis also, but we're not swinging with that. So this is not quite mono-white aggro, the typical one that you would see with Lurus. The one that would drop a creature, all that glitters. In fact, Ginger Brutes would have been a nice one here. That said, getting... As far as creature enchantments are concerned, that's also another thing. Sure, Karametra's Blessing protects most of our creatures. But otherwise, yeah, this is another weird one. But we will play this one anyway. It's... How would I... Unfortunately, it's not quite... we're not going to be able to go the same way as a Doom Foretold style deck. We're going to lose Oath of Kaya there. Burglar Rat, I think is... We'll lose Yarok's Fen Lurker, but we might still have Burglar Rat. Or some effect like that. We will still have Charming Prince. So we got Tranquil Cove into Lionfish. Now here's seeing if we can get it. Okay, I think we just punished ourselves here. We might not get... That's the other thing. This one really needs more early plays. Where are the Omens? The Omens would have been great fits here. Omen of the Sea, Omen of the Sun. So I would understand why this deck doesn't quite fit. Though it's probably also my fault keeping such a lackluster hand. Now I have to play this one first. I kind of want to try to land the Archon of Sun's Grace first, even if it means spending 1 turn on Banishing Light. Okay, so take note. If he sacks this, this is 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. This one is a sack outlet. So we're actually going to... I kind of want to nuke this one, worry about the outlet later, because the outlet pretty much only boosts itself, so we can use a Capture Sphere on that. So we're gonna take out the Careless Celebrant, knowing that we're about to drop some big guns here. Opponent drops an Elite Headhunter. We're not blocking that anytime soon. It's also a nice sacrifice outlet now I think of it. Now, I can play Archon of Sun's Grace, knowing that I can drop Midnight Clock Stinging Lionfish if I have to. I don't know what our opponent's kill spells are. I haven't seen this deck. Opponents hit their 5th mana. Sacrifice another creature or an artifact, deals 2 damage. Doesn't have the mana to act. But he's looking at our... Oh, does he have a threaten effect? Not claim the Firstborn. Although that is something we will be looking forward to in the future. In fact, we probably will be looking at Cat Oven for the near future. Thank goodness no more Priest of Forgotten Gods. So they'd lose that sack outlet. Okay, no, it's just a Darkfleet Warmonger. Still can't block this. We can't exactly block this either. Because he has the mana to activate, give it first strike, and plus... Oh, but he didn't attack. Okay. So this is kind of a throwaway. The real kicker is really the 2... So we're actually going to try to race at this point. Oh, does our opponent actually have an effect? No, okay. Yeah, that scared me a bit. Trill of Possibility, okay. Discarding a Discordant type. Oh, when it dies, make a go token? Sure. We are looking for... Okay, 1 more mana. Oh, this would be interesting. I can bounce 3 creatures with this. Well, with what I have right now. Let's see if we actually hit the next mana. This would be busted. Well, not quite. Because that's 3 copies. They can... Okay, there's a Crocodile. I definitely want to try this one next. We're definitely discarding... Not Capture Sphere. I kind of want to discard Naiad. He can also sack the deal 2 damage, ping this one. That makes sense. Then it would not trigger this, but it would trigger this. Yeah, that's correct. And our opponent doesn't have all the cards yet. We're gonna take 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we'll discard Naiad for now. Now I have to decide which of these 2 to tap. Opponent probably doesn't want to sack. Doesn't matter which one he sacks, he deals the same amount of damage anyway. So we'll take 4, 5, 6. Take this shit. We didn't draw another land. We did draw... Okay, so this is their sack outlet. This is not quite a sack outlet. So we'll take out their actual sack outlet. Well, technically it's also sack outlet, it's just not that great. So we're still hoping on that 1 more mana, but at least we have more options now. We can also buy back the knight. Oh, he can actually sack this right now. It's also a good way to start filling up the graveyard. There's also Stunfish Crusader. You can actually, yeah, sack it now. 5/5. Triggers. It's not... He actually has to sack another creature to give it first strike, but this is 9 damage. The alternate plan is, because I can swing back for 7. Or I can force him to sack a creature. Okay, we'll see if he's willing to sack his own Stormfist Crusader just to keep it alive. No, he's not. That's fine. That's also fine. Now let's see. Return target non-land permanent. Oh, we can bounce this back. Let's bounce this first. Then bounce this. Then bounce this. That's probably the only time I actually got banished into Fable to work properly. So yeah, we kind of bought a lot of time, and we actually have a capture sphere, so our opponent will need to dump both these cards, I guess. Drop the Darfleet, drop the Stormfist. We'll capture sphere the Darfleet. I can actually just recast Elspeth Conquers Death, but oh yeah, probably just recast that. That's a better bet because, you know, we can't actually Elspeth Conquers Death Croxa, it's only 2 CMC. Opponent still doesn't have enough cards. Oh, he's just conceding right there. Okay, so that one worked out a lot better than I thought it. Elspeth Conquers Death is still very solid. Actually, Midnight Clock. Well, that one helped us out in the pinch, although even if it was just a mana rock. But it turns out any sort of acceleration is quite good, especially if you can get more benefit out of it than your opponent, so to speak. So we'll claim that. So we got this one down. Our opponent was running Line of Fire, so we'll actually take a look at this. We'll give this one a run next. We saw the Croxa. That was a highlight. No dread horde, so that's the other best one. But we have Blood Aspirant, as we saw. The Discordant Piper, not so much. I would rather have more. No, we have actually enough Careless Celebrants. That's okay. I probably, if a real deck would have more Serrated Scorpions, maybe not so much Infuriate. No humans actually. Okay, there's the Stormfist Crusader, but not much in the way of humans. So Barge In might also be a possibility. Okay, not a fan of the Elite Headhunters, but it is a decent sack outlet. Now, there's also Eat to Extinction as a way to answer Planeswalkers. Lash of Thorns. The only thing I can say is that this one wrecked me in the last draft, but as far as Constructed is concerned, this would be very interesting. We do have a lot of small, cheap cards, so actually buffing them up is not such a bad idea. So we're basically trying to recycle cards with Ghost Rider. Phoenix of Ash would be a good fit here. Croxa's definitely a fit here. Yeah, but we'll give this one a try. Let's see if this one works out. We'll see if this one works out better for us than it did for our opponent. This one a bit. I don't want to resize this one so I can see my face a bit more. There you go. Okay, that's... yeah, just some wonkiness in the movement here and there. Okay, that works better. But as for our opening hand, yeah, sure, I'll keep this one. Probably turn 2 Stormfist Crusader depending on what our opponent's next card is. Mono White's... okay, we'll see what our opponent has to drop. So far it's been dropping all white. There's a Shambling Suit. Okay, this is also the... okay, so this is also that deck. It's the deck we were running a while ago. We saw the Shambling Suitor earlier. We can just Fire Prophecy this now, get this out of the way. We can also... yeah, I'll probably drop the Discordant Piper. Hold up Lash of Thorns. It's still it's still a plausible fit. It's a bad trade in the sense that we're probably gonna lose a creature regardless. But we get to start racing our opponent. We know the Fire Prophecy can deal with most of their creatures. And we have the Eat of Extinction in case they drop the Archon. I'm guessing our opponent might be hurting for blue mana. That's a possibility. Also, possible our opponent might have disconnected accidentally or accidentally, purposefully. I will not speculate. But this... yeah, cat versus dog. Let's see what happens. Oh wait, we can change their cat? Or was that them changing their cat? Okay, they're back. I think it's just probably just a minor disconnect. I kind of want to save Lash of Torrents as a way to get extra damage in, but I'll take using it to wipe out a big creature. They finally hit their blue mana. Arcanist Owl. They will get the benefit of getting a shooter, but let's see. Next turn, we can't cast Fire Prophecy and cast Careless Celebrant at the same time. But if they swing with Shambling... Okay, they're not swinging with Shambling Suit. We did draw the mana. Okay, so we actually have a plan here. First, we're going to Fire Prophecy the Owl so we can hit again with Stormfist Crusader. We're going to bin one Swamp. Bloodfell Caves is fine. Now we have options here. Probably just play the Careless Celebrant. We're not drawing our actual payoffs yet, but we're just some kind of coasting by. Opponent most likely casts Midnight Clock if their first 3 lands are any indication. So what's our play next turn? Forbidden Friendship, swing with everything, Lash of Torrents, eat to Extinction if we have to. I could even choose to just swing with the Stormfist Crusader, let them double block, Lash of Torrents. And depending on what they use to block, it's either very valuable for us or we might even keep the Stormfist Crusader afterwards. Opponent Vanishing Lights the Stormfist Crusader, so they're... Wait, I think he's looking at Careless Celebrant. Okay, that makes sense. Opponent's not gonna swing yet, so... We got a Slaughter Priest, so we now have a payoff. We'll play Temple of Malice first because we kind of want to bin that swamp. Okay, Slaughter Priest. Opponents struggling with mana if they're casting Midnight Clock now of all times. Well, they probably had to cast Banishing Light on Celebrant anyway. Opponent drops another Banishing Light. Probably takes out the Slaughter Priest, which makes sense. Sure. Or Stormfist, that's fine too. So now they have a big Shambling Suit. Will they attack now? Oh, but I have an interesting setup. Bloodfell Caves, Forbidden Friendship, hold up Lash of Torrents, or hold up Sacrifice with Slaughter Priest. So our main plan is to just take out the Shambling Suit right now, and we'll have removal for their next card. So... No real rush yet into taking our opponent. Yeah, if I have to choose a sack outlet, it's probably gonna be Slaughter Priest, although the mana intensiveness is an issue. Still better than not. They really need to fix this graphical effect. It's looking awfully weird from here. But we'll take that. Opponent is really deep in the tank or deep into disconnection. It could be either case. Hard to say. But yeah, we already have a plan in mind. The question is, does our opponent have a plan? Yeah, I think them playing 3 white lands in a row really hurt them badly. They might have had the Banishing Lights early, which is why they kept them. Though it's curious to... I probably would have played one the first chance I get. I guess they were concerned that they were wasting it on... Not even then, because we played the Stormfist Crusader early. That was our first play. Okay, there's a Darfleet Warmonger. Okay, we need to say... I want to cast this and this, so... We actually have to play this first. Will not sack yet. Sorry, you have to see that. Yeah, that's still more correct, but I guess it's possible our opponent did not know what our deck list is. So now we have Eat the Extinction next turn. Plus we can actually... So we have Eat the Extinction plus a sack, so this is like 5, 9, 10 damage. Not enough. Wait. 5... Yeah, because I'm most likely casting Eat the Extinction on one of their threats. They do have the mana to do unto us what we did to our last opponent, which was bounce our creatures back. I figured that was gonna happen. Now it's a... Oh, it's interesting if they start bouncing the banishing. Okay, they're letting us have that back. Letting us have that back. Bouncing that back. I'm questioning if that's the right play. Yeah, because I would have sacked a bunch of stuff anyway. Yeah, I think our opponent, yeah, they were holding on to that, but they... Yeah, the correct play there was to bounce our stuff. Steal the tempo, steal the thunder, steal the tempo from us. That would have been the better option. So, okay, so much for... So Line of Fire is reasonably good. We probably want a much earlier curve, so... We want more early stuff, at least 2 drops. So that leaves us with 2 more decks to try out. We got Spell Power and Life Skills. Let's save Life Skills for... Okay, let's take a look at both of them and let's decide. So Life Skills, clearly it's revolving around gain 3 life during your turn. There's a caveat for this. Well, actually, Silver Smoke Ghoul is better because it oh, it's still your end step. So there's a caveat. You have to gain the life on your turn. So there's no end of turn revitalize, gain a bunch of effects. No, you're gonna be spending that on your turn. It makes cards like Anointed Chorister and Speaker of the Heavens make more sense, especially if you can buff them. It makes Fate's Feathers make more sense. Baneslayer Angel, that's really good. Boot Nipper, honestly, I'm more likely to use this for Death Touch, even with the early lifelink. Tavern Swindler, kind of odd to see this effect when we're not playing red. Traditionally, this kind of effect would be red, especially I'd have to flip a coin. Also, not so great in the sense that, again, you're doing this on your turn. The Unexpected Fangs is an interesting one. Resolute Rider is a weird one for this. I guess gaining lifelink, threatening lifelink is probably just as good. But it ties up your mana quite a bit. You're probably going to have to give up 1 or 2 of these to be realistic. Also, as far as removal concerned, not so much actually. Our literal removal is just the Fate's Feathers and the Bake into a Pie, so they're quite expensive. Now let's check out Spell Power. What's the Spell Power actually? Well, okay, so not really much for cycling, but it does kind of revolve around Shark Typhoon. We're missing the Thieving Sprite, which kind of makes more sense. We're actually missing a lot of some typical cards like Improbable Alliance, Thieving Sprite. It just cares about you casting spells. Wavebreak Hippocamp is okay because we do have a good number of... Actually, it's weird. This one rewards you for casting on your opponent's turn. Riddle Form rewards you for casting it on your turn. Experimental Overload. Well, the marquee is around Experimental Overload. It just rewards you for casting period. But even the Stormwing Entity... So there's a bit of a dichotomy. Does it want you to cast on your turn or your opponent's turn? If you're aiming for the stuff that casts on your turn, like turn 2 Riddle Form, try to go into Stormwing Entity, I would probably add a lot of... if you drew your second card this turn cards, I would be adding... What are those cards? Yeah, Improbable Alliance is one. That's a decent fit. Iron Crag Pyromancer would also be a good fit for that sort of effect. Sure, you're not necessarily drawing cards all the time, but you'll also be able to benefit from stuff like as I mentioned, the Thieving Sprite. +1/+1 counter for every non-creature spell you cast. So we do have a Brazen Borrower at least. But that's it. If I have to choose one I'm more convinced in, I'll go with Life Skills first. Probably get wrecked badly. Then I'll go with the spells deck next. So this is a much quicker video than last time, only because we had 2 really long games in the first video with the black-green deck, not so much. Okay, this is not keepable. Let's be honest also, you'll be seeing 4 copies of Fabled Passage, no doubt. Okay, this is more keepable. We will... I don't have much faith in Tavern Swindler despite the fact I have these, but we'll bin the Tavern Swindler first. Opponent goes first, Dismal Backwater. We go slightly better on Temple. I still want to keep that because I know I can do turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. Oh yeah, yikes, this is okay, so turn 2 Griffin Airy, turn 3 Silver. We actually need a... If we want to go Fate's Fetters, we actually need a land that's not this. But we'll go Griffin Airy first anyway. Let's see if we can do our setup. The other issue I have with the life gain deck is that it's really an A+B deck. So Fate's Fetters is okay here, but considering it still gains a lot of other effects, you would probably prefer Bake into a Pie in this case. Yeah, we need... Can we get the and we're forced to sacrifice a creature, which is kinda rotten, but not the end of the world. It's a creature that we can get back. So we definitely are going Fate's Fetters next turn. There's a Tavern Swindler. So our opponent can still dump cards here. It's just less valuable. Like, okay, opponent now goes after Oracle of Half-Truths, so... Yeah, that was kind of what I was hoping for, actually. Well, this is a human, so he can't actually mutate onto this, so there's some good news for us. So definitely... What I'm going to do is drop the Scarred Barrens. Gain 1 life. Opponent's not blocking, so we're... Now our opponent could bounce this eventually, but... We'll deal damage. Since we know we've gained life, we're actually going to sack this to draw a card, because we know we're getting it back. And now we can threaten Resolute Rider next turn. So as you can see, our opponent's now incentivized to just keep dumping stuff here. We're forced to sack a creature, which most likely will be... Silver Smoke Pool. Not exactly the Boot Nipper. Okay. Opponent will swing in with Atris. But we will get to swing back. Since we gained the 3 life already, I will just cast a Tavern Swindler. Even if it's just to get block the Boot Nipper. If we need an emergency one-shot, we have Revitalize. We already got quite a few Griffins actually, so we're kind of doing good on that end. Opponent probably wants to start mutating onto this guy instead. I could also just try gambling once in a while with this. We already have 2 decent payoffs. We're missing the Patrician, which is probably the best payoff in terms of killing our opponent directly. Though I'll take Griffin Airy actually. This one's more versatile. It's cheaper to cast. Opponent probably wants to take out Resolute Rider, which makes perfect sense. There's an Archipelago. Yeah, he's now tapping this and probably wants to tap this down. Because he... Oh, he just tapped that down. Okay. Swings. This is a 7/7 lifelink though, so we're really racing. Opponent can block that, but I can threaten rest. I'm okay with that. So we gain... There you go. Let's see. Now our opponent has to answer all our flyers now. Well, not quite. He's back up to 9 life. Opponent has another Archipelago, forcing multiple effects and whatnot. We will probably sack Silver Smoke here? Oh wait, he can tap multiple of our creatures down. So these two are nasty actually right now. Okay, sack a creature. Probably this one because this one can still attack. So it's 5 mana to give lifelink and trigger a bunch of stuff. We're gonna take another 7 damage again, which is an issue, but he will have to mutate again. Close but no cigar. He's still at 5. Probably sack this one, draw a card because it's tapped anyway. Ooh, this is gonna be very close. Opponent more likely to just mutate on top of this one. And drops a Lockmere Serpent. So the Fate's Fetters did lock this down. At least we're not getting beaten down by it, but we are losing a lot of equity with our creatures here. We're gonna take another 7 damage. In fact, something gets bounced back, probably this token. Could also be Veto, actually. We'll see how he always bounce that. Sack a creature. Probably this one. So we take another 7. We go down to 5. Thankfully, our opponent hasn't tried to answer Veto Torn of the Dusk Rose yet. We can kind of catch up that way. Yeah, we're not going to win this one simply because our opponent was able to go Archipelago, and another Short Sword. Yeah, we're not winning this one. And I think that's it. He's mutated this enough times. Yeah, we're dead already. Yeah, that's a good game. Yeah, so Fate's Fetters is good, but not against the mutate deck. We were better served with a real kill spell. Banishing Light would... Well, I understand it's really about life gain. Fate's Fetters was okay for the first time it ran around, but we kind of stalled out. We were close. Just a little bit more. But I'll take that. It's it does have legs, and if you I've seen some versions of the life skills deck where the payoff is just literally the ghoul. There's also the creeping chill, so you're running Mire Triton, Timrid, Calls the Dead. You're just milling stuff onto the graveyard. Probably It's probably actually more of a hybrid between the Back for More deck and the Life Skills deck. It's, yeah, that kind of hybrid with a little blue for Uro and whatnot. Because, yeah, Uro's always gain 3 life. We'll definitely go with, but we'll give this last deck a try now. So we didn't win that many games this time. So we've won 2, we lost 2. We'll see how the spells deck does in this effect though. Again, I am not too convinced about this one. I really think that this could be, well, got Spell Eater Wolverines and the Scorching Dragonfire. This one's each turn, so we actually get twice the benefit of this. The sad thing is you're usually casting this on turn 5, so you're skipping one entire turn. You better hope you win on that turn, so to speak. And this is the Back for More deck. So at least we can go Spellfire Wolverine, spell after we nuke the Mara Triton. And at least with Scorching Dragonfire, that Triton's not coming back, so I don't have to worry about it coming back for more. So I'm actually going to play the Spell Eater Wolverine first, just to get something on the board. That Moon Talon. Okay, we have 2 options here. Actually, we'll swing first. Okay, opponent's taking... Okay. Yeah, opponent's taking that, so we're gonna just cast another Spell Eater Wolverine. Because we have a surprise for our opponent. No, we're not casting Boon of the Wishgiver, it would be nice. But we can cycle it. Draw land also, so... We are gonna give our opponent a bunch of... Well, actually just one. Okay, cycle first. Draw land. Okay, he can have a spider. And Temple of Epiphany... No, not really. Because I want to cast Double Vision first. It's a sap. So next turn, let's cast the Double Vision before we go Experimental Overload. We get to... Well... We get to get 2 cards back. Though the weird thing is, we'll get a 3/3 back, then we'll get a... We'll get a 3/3, then a 2/2 after that. And of course, that plan might change. Okay, we have a Riddle form. At this point, I really want to have a... Well, actually, not so much. Opponent probably has some removal at this point. You're definitely chump blocking here because you know... Drag to the Underworld. That's fine. So at least we have a semi-decent way to nuke stuff. Now... Okay, opponent holding back. We're gonna hold back on the Riddle form. Wait. Wait. Yeah. We go to combat first because, Oh wait, did I just waste 1 mana? Oops. That was incorrect. Turns out our opponent did have a Murder Strider, so it was moot-ish. So we will get... We can actually just get Boon of the Wishgiver to draw us more cards again. Since we kind of blew that chance, so we'll get Scorching Dragonfire. And we'll get Boon of the Wishgiver. That gets exiled. So we have a 3/3 and a 2/2. And we have multiple options. I could actually just cycle this again if I have to. So far, our opponent hasn't tried to do much of getting stuff back. Well, there's only a Death Moon Talent, so it's not great. I will offer the trade. Let's see if our opponent has a pump effect. Does have the pump effect, so let's get that out of the way. That's fine. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's that text message? Okay, you're okay. More bills. You gotta love it when they send more bills. Now, if I cast this, I actually draw 8 cards. That's probably not the best idea. I'm more likely to just Scorching Drag. I could Scorching Dragonfire Arasta, get it over with. I can also just say cast. Let's cast a Riddle form. Because it's in each turn. Actually, we'll pass. Sure, I'm kind of giving up some equity by doing this, but I get to make a 3/3 blocker in the process. Opponent might have another pump effect, like another Gift of Strength. So let's see if he does have a pump effect. Yes, take action. Resolve. Okay, he doesn't have it. So pass 2 blocks. We'll block the Murderous Rider, get it out of the way. And the thing is, our opponent saw it coming. Now, opponent might have a back 4 more for this, so this could be a problem. Twin Blade Assassins, yeah, sure, we'll scry. Another Scorching Dragonfire is great. We'll take that on top. In fact, we now have options like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wow. Draw 8 cards. Here we come. And you got another Scorching Dragonfire. Yeah, we'll make it the Sphinx. We will next go to combat, attack. Doesn't have reach. And he kind of sees it that's gonna die next. I could also dip the Shark Typhoon. I'm not casting these because I know I want to cast something else. So we're going to end the turn. We're going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I want to keep this option up, so I kind of want this too. We can just discard the mountain. Oh no, we need to discard 2 cards. Okay, we'll discard 2 mountains. And also because of Scorching Dragonfire, none of these cards are coming back. Yeah, Double Vision is really not... It is the bomb here. And unfortunately, speaking of the bomb, my... yeah, my mouse is gonna die. Hold on a second. Let's get that spare mouse. Oh no! Okay, opponent conceded before I could get the spare mouse. Which is fine enough. I guess they were kind of concerned that we had something up. But the writing was kind of on the in the wall at that point. Draw when you draw 8 cards and have something left over to cast afterwards. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna need more USB ports at this point. Okay, that's better now. So using spare mouse, but it's a good thing that happened near the end of the video. So there we go. Turns out, yeah, the spells deck can be busted. It does have enough removal, though I think we ended up drawing all 3 of our Scorching Dragonfires. More of we drew a Scorching Dragonfire, we bought back a Scorching Dragonfire. I think all in all, we've cast a virtual 5 copies of Scorching Dragonfire. And we still had 1 more. Yeah, that was really busted. Anyway, that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, if you like what the gameplay and whatnot, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. Do check me out on YouTube. Also, do check me out on Facebook. I do streams every Sunday, but I still do a lot of regular content here. So yeah, t- enjoy enjoy my stuff. Enjoy these runs at your own pace. Until then, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you guys again next time. Take care. God bless. Stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.